Guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video we are going to take a look at how to make Instagram story stickers. Instagram story stickers are essentially small GIF files with transparent backgrounds that you can stick all over your Instagram stories. So what we're going to do is, I have After Effects open. I have a comp here that is 370 pixels by 320 pixels and about 4 seconds long, 120 frames long. And I have this piece of footage here. Let's open that up. I have this footage here of a breakdancer. Alright, so I have this footage here of this breakdancer, and there's a lot of nice motion here. For the most part, there's good contrast with the background. We may run into some issues with like his hand on the ground here. So we'll see about that, but I think we can find a good section where he stays in frame and does something cool. So we'll just scrub back and forth a little bit. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so we are going to just take this section, cut this down, and how we're going to cut him out of the background, because we need a transparent background, is we're going to use the Rotobrush tool right here. And the Rotobrush tool, if you used Photoshop and have used the magic selection tool, not the magic wand, but the magic selection, it's like a little brush, that is basically what the Rotobrush tool is, but on video. So we'll have our layer selected. We will click the Rotobrush tool, and we're actually going to need to double click on the footage to go from composition to footage mode. So we'll go into, from composition into layer mode. So now that we're in layer mode, you see we have this little green brush, and if we press option, it'll turn red. So green is to select an area and red is to deselect an area. So just to start, we are at the beginning here, and we will just sort of paint kind of like a little stick figure that just follows the major contour of where he's at. And you can see already, like, it did a pretty good job just based off of that, but we need to do a little bit of finessing, because like it was missing a finger. Oh Jesus, what did I do? Because like he's missing a finger here, and yeah, some spaces there, and like this is not part of him. So, oh my God. So yeah, that's not good. I'm not sure what the fuck's going on there. Anyway, so here we are. We'll just hold Option and paint that out, and now it knows that dude's face is not part of this. We can paint that in. We can get this section in between his legs. Kind of finesse that. Up in his arm here. And remember, this doesn't have to be super clean. You can use, if you hold Command and drag to the left, your brush will get smaller. Drag to the right, it gets bigger. I'm holding Command and dragging my mouse to the left. And so we can get this out of his hat and maybe get out between his fingers a little bit more. This is going to be a lot smaller. It's going to be like this big, you know, so you don't need to be perfect, but you want to get as clean as you can just so pieces aren't popping in and out, or there's no weird like chunks just kind of hanging on to him. All right, so I think, I'm gonna get his foot. Get the bottom of his shoe there. Cool. Pretty good. And yeah, I think that's all right. So what we'll do is we'll just press page down, or if you're on a laptop, I believe it is Command right arrow, and we'll just move one frame forward and see. So Rotobrush tries to guess a few frames ahead of what you just selected to kind of help you out. Usually does a pretty good job, but as you can see, we're like losing some of the arm. This new shadow here from his hand is blending into the background, so that confused it. And like the back of his head here. So we just need to clean up a little bit. Start fast forwarding. All right, so now we have him cut out. We went back into our composition. Just bring in the edge a touch. Get rid of some of that. Cool. So now, one step that's very important to do before we really bring it in is to actually go back into our layer with our Rotobrush and click freeze on all of your Roto masks and prevent them from changing or getting confused when you scale things down or add other effects or go to render. Sometimes you'll get some weird artifacts because it's trying to calculate it again. So if we just do this will save us a lot of grief in the end. think it might also speed up render time a bit. Cool. So we'll grab that. Copy, Command C, head over to our sticker comp, paste it in there. Press the left bracket key to bring that to the beginning, and Command Home to bring it to the center. S for scale. Scale it down just so he fits. Inside of here. Just gonna get rid of that first frame. Don't know why that's in there. And we'll bring this end time to here. All right. So he's popping out a little bit. We'll just scale it, continue to scale it down a touch, try and get him in the middle. Really bring him up. This seems to be where he's the tallest. All right. It's pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is I want to make this a loop somehow. And I think for this movement, the best way to loop it would be a ping pong. So I'm actually just going to pre-comp this, move all attributes, and adjust the composition so that it's this long. We'll call this breakdance pre-comp 1. Press OK. Right click, time remapping. Okay, and if we option click on the stopwatch, we will open up the expressions menu. We can come down here and let's see if they have it under property. Yeah, I'm just going to type it in, loop capital out, parentheses, ping pong, and now if we go to the end and keep going, he should reverse. Awesome. And then at 32, he will reverse again. Oh, 3 seconds. 2. Okay. Right here, this frame 92, he reverses again. So we will press end. And we'll trim comp to the work area. Cool. So we have this. Now it's time to export. So what you might think you would do is go to Adobe Media Encoder, add that. We'll let it pop up. All right, and if we click our options here, then we can go to this drop down menu and look right here, animated GIF. Sweet, right? Except there's no option for transparency. So instead, what we will do is we will Control Command M, add it to the render queue, go into our output module and choose a PNG sequence, RGB plus alpha. All right, press OK, and we will choose a place for this to go. Hit render. And now we will open up our trusty dusty Photoshop. And this is where we will finish creating our GIF. So, File, Scripts, load files into Stack, browse for our files, sticker right here, go down, grab all of them, click Open, Beach Ball of Death, click OK, and now we get a seizure while 92 files load in as separate layers. There we have it. We have all of our files loaded in as layers here, and we get this funky almost like a sequence trippy Android Jones type of deal going on. But anyway, next we're going to want to create a frame animation. You can do that by clicking this button here in the timeline panel. If you don't see that, just go up to Window and down to the timeline. Just make sure that has a check. We already do, so we're just going to create frame animation, and then using this little drop down here, we're going to go make frames from layers, and that will just take each frame in order and make it into a layer. Now a lot of times it comes in backwards. This one it doesn't really matter because we're ping-ponging anyway, but just in case, you can select the first one, shift click the last one, and just go to reverse frames under this same menu over here, and then it'll be the right way. And then go down here at the bottom left, change this. This is the loop setting. We'll change this from once to forever, and we will save. Shift Option Command S brings up save for web, and we just need to change this to GIF. All right, couple of things we need to pay attention to. Transparency should definitely be on. You can see that it's on because we have our little transparency checkerboard back here. The matte is actually a little edge of pixels. You can see it right here and like around here that they put around the edge, which if this was going on a white background would make it look a lot smoother, but because this is going on any story photo, it could be light, it could be dark, we don't know. We're actually going to change the matte to none, and that'll provide, it looks a little jaggy here, but remember this will be small, and also it'll just provide the best look on the widest range of backgrounds, which is good. So if we take a look over here, we're at 1.1 megabytes, which is just over. I've gotten away with it because it's not 2, but we can just drop this down to slightly less colors. You don't really notice the difference, and we are under 1. So we will save this. Anyway, guys, that's all for today. I hope you found that helpful. Come back next time for more tips, tricks, behind the scenes, and other things for freelance motion designers. Thanks, guys. I will see you in the future.